Hi, it's time for the EcoHeidi show. I'm Heidi Borchers. Welcome to my studio. Today's theme is outside the box. I have 4 fabulous projects. The first one is doing the burnt brown bag on a box. You're going to love it. Also, Candace J is joining me today, and she's going to make a box out of a box. How cool is that? I'm also taking a pizza box, but you could use any kind of box, and I'm making a canvas out of it for wall art. You're going to love it. And I have a project that I've shown before, but with a different twist, and plastic water bottle caps. So don't go away, we'll be right back. When I decided to do the theme today of outside the box, it was really to think outside the box, to not do the normal. But as it turned out, all the projects turned out to be a box. Even Candace J made a box out of a box. My first project is on a box, and it's doing a butterfly out of brown bag, which is the old Mama Aline technique, which is burnt brown bag, and it's so much fun. Take a look. Today I'm using the Aline's original tacky glue. It's the one that I recommend for this technique. I'm also using brown bag, and I have my pattern that I've drawn on one side, and then I turn it over and put some glue on the inside. And for this project I like to squeegee it on. I just use like an old credit card or some cardboard. And then I put an 18 gauge wire inside. Make sure that your wire lines up where it doesn't go beyond your cutting line. And then you cut it out. And now we're ready to put the glue on to start the burning process. You need a candle. And I'm using like an emergency candle or a plumber's candle. It seems to have a higher flame. Put the glue right onto the cutout, and make sure you put enough glue to cover up all the brown bag, because it's actually the glue that you're burning. Need a little bit more. Now you put it right into the flame. Whoops, let's get a little bit more right there. See how that edge has a little bit. Put it right into the flame. And it's not really in the flame, it's just right above the flame. Just keep it going back and forth. Keep it moving all the time, and you'll see how it turns black. You want to do the whole thing. And then just keep looking at it. You can see these spots here. And you'll know when it's completely done when it's all black. See, I have a little bit more glue there, so we're going to put that back in. Oops. And that means I put it into right into the candle flame. And so it'll always snuff it out if you put it right into the candle flame. And there we have our butterfly. Now you can, at this point, you can either let it dry, or if you're in a hurry, you want to see the results, you can take a paper towel and just very carefully push some lines in. Just push, the glue is still a little bit wet, and that'll give you a little bit more texture. See how all that really cool texture's in there. Now I do let it dry at this point, and then I have one here that's dry. And then what you're going to do is to wipe off the soot. It's black. And just wipe it off. And you can see that really cool texture. Now next I happen to use Rub and Buff. It's a paste. And I just use a little bit on my finger and just rub it right over the raised area that I've created with burning the glue. Need a little bit more. Now remember, this is a paste. You could also probably do it with a acrylic gold. I happen to like this one. Isn't that cool? Now let's take a look. Oh, before we do that, let's put on, I have some little antennas. I also made some antennas out of wire, so you would glue that right on underneath part. Let's take a look at the box. Here's where you do the same thing with the box, and it's just a little box like this. You put the glue all over it, just like I did. Wipe it, let it set, wipe it off. I put some little spirals of wire, and here's the butterfly. Now on this particular one, I did use the wire, and I just rolled it over a pen, and then that raised it up above. I put a hole in the top of the box, and then I glued it in. So it makes a really cool raised, and it kind of moves a little bit. Now also I wanted a little bit more, just a different technique on here. I just paper punched it to give it some different look. And that's all there is to it to make your burnt brown bag butterfly box. I love this project. It looks like metal. Isn't it amazing to take glue and a brown bag and make it look like metal? Just love it. Well, when I gave Candace the assignment, like I said the theme is outside the box. So when she came back, she said, well, I'm going to make a box out of a box. She's so cute. Candace, what did you make today?
Thank you, Heidi. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my studio. Today, I'm going to show you how to turn a chocolate box, yes, it's another chocolate box, only this one is square, into a lovely fabric-covered gift box. Hold on to your seats because it's all happening right now. You can use any size box at all that you want. This one just happens to be a cool size that I like, and the paper on the top of it was loose, so I took all of that off. The paper on the bottom was glued, so I don't need to take that off. Now, because the top is the same length as the bottom, it won't be easy to open even with a handle on the top. So I'm going to make these wavy lines, And what I did was I measured down from the top about 1/2 inch on each of the corners. And then I'm doing a squiggly line in between, making sure that I end up on the mark. Next, I will cut it on the waves, and then I'm going to coat it with a matte medium. But you can use anything at all you want to stiffen up your box. The box lid is dry, and I picked out a fabric, a lovely swirly pattern that I like. And this will be the fabric that will cover the top. I've mitered the corners already, and I'm ready to start. I'm using Aleene's permanent fabric glue. I'm just going to pour it on and then spread it out. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to make sure that the fabric is on there tightly. The object is to get it to stick really well on the sides, because then you'll just trim it around the edge of your squiggly box. Next, I'm going to glue the feet on. And I have these big glass blobs. And look at, oh, here's my regular tacky glue, which dries very clear. Are you ready? Ta-da! Nice profile. Yep, I'm liking that. That's going to be awesome. I've got this piece of, oh, if I had to guess, I would say 14 gauge wire. It's leftover electrical wire that I use a lot in my work. And the first thing I'm going to do is make a spiral. This one's the most important one because it's going to show on the top. So you want this to be just exactly how you want it. I think that's good enough. And then I'm going to bend the wire back like that. Now, let's put the bead on. Yep, that's working for me. I like it. And now I'm going to cut some of this length off. We certainly don't need it all. Ooh, yeah, that much. I've put a hole in the top of the box in the center. And that's how the handle is going to look. Just like that. The trick is getting it on here tightly. So I'm going to hold it against the table as I make the first bend. And I'm flattening it out. And I will eventually put some glue on there, but for right now, there's my handle. The last thing I want to do is make some accents with some tulip beads in a bottle. Now this one's a pearl, the pink, and this one is metallic, the copper, and you know how much I love copper. So let's add some details. Now the thing about the beads in a bottle is you want to test them first. You want to make sure that you're going to be able to get a nice rounded piece. So you're going to stay above the surface, you're going to drop it on and pull it straight up, and then it rounds itself and ends up looking like a bead. It is very cool. So I think I want to do 3 in the corner. That's one of my favorites. Sets of 3. Oh, that's lovely. This is my new favorite thing. Now let's put on some of the pearls. The pink pearls. Let's do a large one in the center and two smaller ones on the side. Oh, that is awesome. I like that a lot. So cool. I just love boxes. I'm with Tiffany. Boxes are very cool and you can do so many things with them. I enjoyed doing this project today. I hope that you enjoyed it and I hope that you're inspired to try something like it. And I hope that if you do, I get to see it. Email me, Candace@cool2craft.com, with your stories and your photos so I can post them on our website. Thanks for having me today. Back to you, Heidi.
Thank you so much, Candace. I just love that. A box out of a box. You're really thinking outside the box. My next project is a box. And I thought about it because so many times I go to the craft store or the art store and I buy canvases, and I love the really thick canvases like the 2 inches, the 2.5 inches, and they're really pricey. So this is perfect. If you use a pizza box or any other box, I even went into my mailing boxes, they're perfect for this project. Take a look. To make a canvas out of a box, I like the ones that have the flaps. They tend to be more solid and they tend to be more squared. And you're going to glue the flap down. And I'm just using hot glue. If you're going to use the Lean's tacky glue, then use rubber bands to hold it. A little bit more down here. And just press it and hold it. Now for mine, I used some scrapbooking paper, and I put the box down onto the scrapbooking paper and measured it just to put a pencil line around. And I like to score it. And when I score it, I put my clear plastic ruler down on my pencil line, and I use a stylus and just go right down my lines. Now I clipped each corner so that it can go around the corners when I put it on my box. And I'm going to use the Lean's Tacky Tape Runner. This is the way it comes in a package, to adhere it to my box. So we want to put a little bit here. It's going on the top of the box. And then we need it on all of our edges that are going to go down. And place it on the box. Line it up. And bring it down. And I need a little bit more on this corner. See if we can squeeze in there. And a little bit more on this. You see that? And then fold up. Now for the sides, I have some space on the sides, so I cut strips that were the same height, just a little bit shorter for my sides. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the tacky tape runner. Go on my flaps this time. And I already pre-folded those because I knew that they were going to go around this edge. Perfect. Go on the other side. I love this tape runner. Look how quick and easy. And you know what? This would be really great for the kids. Make sure you get it down to the bottom and around the corner. And then your last pieces, you just cut to fit over the bottom edge. Now let's take a look at the made-up piece, because I wanted to show you all the different things that I put on it. So here's the top of my box. I actually had it come off the box. Again, think outside the box. So I have think here. And I took things that were on my studio table that maybe I was never going to use on anything else. Like if you watch like our eggshell mosaic, there's one of my how-tos is in here. Lots of really cool things. If you go over here, look at, there's some wonderful buttons from Blumenthal Lansing, some of their new buttons. I just love those. And also I started to do a necklace out of the plastic bag, or the plastic water bottles, and so I put that on there. And I just used the Aleene's tacky glue for all of this. I just used the original tacky glue, glued it all on. But look at all these really cool things. There, you might have seen her on my bottle cap doll. And again, I just went beyond. Now, this was a pizza box, so on the pizza box there was a couple little flaps that I didn't want to cut off, so I paper punched them and I put some things on the bottom to hang. Again, I went to the corner. I had some of these things on my table. Here's another Blumenthal Lansing, one of their new buttons. And go back up to the top here. Some cool things. I had this from a UT piece that I had on the table. You can tell I have a lot on my table. These I found at the craft store. Lots and lots of fun things. Oh, here we forgot here's a soda can flower that I make. So all these things I found around my studio, and it's a great way to use things that have meaning to you, and that you can make them into an art piece. I just love that. Isn't that fun? So how perfect is this, to have your own canvas out of something that you'd normally throw away? I love it. And you know, when I started to do it, I just kept going and going and going. So I hope you have lots of fun with it. Now, I don't know about you, but I use a lot of wax paper and foil. And so I looked at this box and I thought, I'm not going to throw that away. It was in my recycle bin, trust me. So I also took out some of these projects that I've shown you before using the plastic caps, and I thought, why not use the wax paper or the foil box and the plastic caps, the same technique. Let's take a look. For this project, you can use any cardboard box. 0 boxes are fine. I thought it would be fun to use a wax paper or like a foil box because we don't usually do too much with them. I go through a lot of them. So the first thing you need to do is to glue the flap inside. And I just used some hot glue, put it on the flap, and then pressed it hard until it was set up. So I have my box ready here. I want to cover the end first because I'm using scrapbooking paper, and the scrapbooking paper doesn't go completely from end to end. So I know that the box is 2 by 2 and my ruler is 2 by 2. I'm using some craft foam here, and I'm going to score it with my stylus. Now be sure you check with your paper, because this paper that I chose, I noticed I can't go very hard or it goes right through the paper, and it has like a white, the white inside the paper. So make sure you just choose your paper, or just don't score so hard. Now I'm going to cut in the flap. And this is what we're making for the end of the box, to cover the end of the box. Now if you wanted to, you could paint the box too. You don't have to put the paper, you can just paint the box. And just use a sponge to paint it. You get a little bit better of a look. Now today I'm using the Aleene's Tacky Tape Runner. I like this because it's quick and easy. It gives me an instant hold with the self-adhesive tape. Just go around all your edges. And I want a little that's going to go on the top. You line that up on the top of your box. Put the sides down that have the flaps first. And then your other side. Now if my box isn't exactly even, you will get this, so just trim it. Now for the main part of the box, again, it's a 2-inch box, so I've scored 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 4 times, and then I have a 1/2 inch flap. So we're going to fold that. And there's my flap. Again, using your Aleene's Tacky Tape Runner. I'm going to go along the edge. And I probably need one more piece down here. Line it up. And there you have your covered box. So we'll make this the front of our box with our flap in the back. And then you can take papers, and I've just cut some scrapbooking papers that I had. Or anything that you had. I had some of this tissue paper I thought would be pretty on it. And we could put some other ones like here. And then you have your plastic bottle caps. They come in all different colors, so you can keep them the way that they are, or you can paint them. If you're going to glue them on, use the Aleene's Tacky Glue. And you can either put them on upside down, and remember this dries clear. This one's a little big for there. Let's put another green one here. I wanted to show you that you can also put it upside down like this. Then the fun thing is to pick what you're going to put in it. You can use buttons. Or you can use like the glass marbles, the flat back marbles. And there you have your art piece. Let's take a look at the pieces that I started out with on canvas and board. Okay, this is one that I did on just some masonite board that I had left over. Again, you could just do it on cardboard or the boxes. But it shows how I painted it on. I sponge painted my background, and then I have all the different bottle caps here with some tile, again buttons, and then a glass flat marble. So, and then I just put some dots with some paint. It makes it really cool look for an art piece. And on the back of it, I just glued a hanger. Here's one that I did on a canvas, and again, a pizza box is perfect. And you have to draw the lines that you want that are evenly spaced apart on your box, and then paint each one. And I just randomly painted it. It wasn't anything that was neat or anything. And then all of them are glued, and you can see how each one is every other one is upside down, and putting the different things on it, little tiles, jewels, buttons, the flat back marbles. It makes a perfect art piece. So I also found this box in my box stash. Wouldn't that be a great canvas? So you need to look around in your recycle box and think twice about throwing away any box, because it makes a great canvas and it's great art for your wall. Plus you can use all the things that you have on your studio table just like I did. Now let's just kind of recap on today's show of what I showed you today. The first thing I showed you was the burnt brown bag. It's an old Mama Aleene technique where they were trying to find the tacky glue. The Aleene's Tacky Glue was flammable, and they found out that it made a wonderful look of metal. And so I made the butterfly on a box, and I actually even took my box and I did the burnt glue on the box too. Also, Candace J made a box out of a box. She was thinking outside the box. It was very, very cute. Thank you, Candace. And my project was making a canvas out of a box. Using those boxes for canvas wall art is fabulous, because first of all, it doesn't go into the landfill, and it saves you money because you're not putting out a high price for those stretch canvas boards that are at your craft store. Also showed you what to do with a wax paper container or a foil container, because you don't want to throw those away either. Now you can find all of these instructions and videos on cool2craft.com. So be sure you go there, because all the archive shows are there. And every Monday we have a new show. And you also can sign up for the newsletter on cool2craft.com. Just click in the right-hand corner, newsletter, sign up, because we have some great newsletter information with Fave Crafts. And so it's Fave Crafts and cool2craft.com. They come out on Tuesdays and Fridays. So this show you'll find tomorrow, Tuesday. Or if you're just watching the replay, you'll find it on the archive show at Cool2Craft. That's all for today's EcoHeidi show. Thanks so much for joining me. Next time on the EcoHeidi show, it's all about green bling, so don't miss the next show, and we'll see you next Monday on the Cool2Craft show. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming.